Hi there, my name's John. I just had a bowel resection surgery for chronic Crohn's disease. I now have a colostomy bag. Yeah.
Okay, so hi, Mr. Doe. How are you feeling today?
I'm all right. I mean, not feeling sick or anything, so that's good.
That's good to hear. So today we're here to teach you about how to care for your new colostomy and some of the changes you might have to make. So do you have any initial questions for us?
You know, I'm kind of worried about this whole thing, about this bag on me. I'm worried about, I'm usually pretty fit. I like to play a lot of sports, and I'm worried about that too. Like, will I be able to do that stuff anymore?
Yeah, well, definitely we're glad to hear that you have some questions because that's why we're here today. We'll get that all sorted out. And yeah, first of all, we recommend that you don't overexert yourself too much for the first 3 months or so, just to make sure everything heals up nicely. But after that, you can do everything that you did before, just being mindful to ease into it a little bit. And on that note, will there be anybody with you at home that can help you out while you make these new changes?
Yeah, I live with my girlfriend, but I'm also kind of worried about how she's going to react to this.
Right.
Like, having this bag, it's pretty gross.
Right. So colostomy bags are actually designed that you won't be able to see them under clothing.
Okay.
And the type, the bag that's picked will be certain to your body type, so it's minimal order. And there also shouldn't be any leakage.
Oh, okay. So when I'm, like, this bag's full, do I just, like, change it or do I dump it out? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, so you don't have to change the entire apparatus every time. So just when you need to empty the bag itself, you can just empty it into the toilet like you would regularly. And the general guideline with the bag is that you don't want to fill it higher than like 1/3 or to 1/2. So once it reaches that point, you want to make sure you empty it, just because if it gets any heavier, you could potentially dislodge the entire thing, which would be bad. So
Okay, yeah, that
Yep.
sounds uncomfortable.
yeah.
Okay, so I don't change it, but how often do I have to change the actual pouch though? Like,
Right, so it actually depends on the person. So some people change it once or twice a week, but others will change it more often. It just more depends on how you feel. So what's important is that you assess it, any leakages, if there is, that'll be a good time to change it, and ensure like it's in proper condition and how it's supposed to be working. But most people like to change it when you do change it, before you eat in the morning or at the end of the day.
oh, okay.
Just times when it's probably not going to be filling.
Right.
Is probably when you want to be. So maybe
Right.
not after a big meal or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So like I said, I was active. I'm a
Mhm.
swimmer, and am I going to be able to get in the water with this thing? Or
Yeah, absolutely. You can get it wet. It's up to you whether you bathe with the pouch on or off, but it makes no difference. You could take a shower every day if you wanted to. Water won't hurt your stoma itself or get inside. Swimming, totally fine. A good tip, of course, is to empty the bag first if you are gonna get wet, just for your comfort, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely can get it wet. Can do really anything that you need to do.
Okay. Speaking of the stoma,
Yeah.
it's kind of gross looking. Like, it's all like red and like puffy. Is it supposed to be like that?
Yeah, of course. So this again depends on the person. They vary in size and shape. But ultimately, a healed stoma should be moist and pink, like you're seeing, or somewhat red. So the skin around the stoma should look pretty much the same as the rest of your skin, just a little bit pinkish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what about for cleaning this stuff? Like, when I have to change, how do I clean around there and stuff and keep it safe?
Yeah, so taking care of the stoma is very important, but it's not like a big process in of itself. Doesn't require you to be sterile or anything. So we have a couple tips for caring for your stoma. First, of course, always wash your hands before and after, just hygiene stuff. All you're gonna need is to clean it with some warm water and some soft paper towel. Soap is not necessary. In fact, harsh soaps with oils or perfumes can irritate the skin and actually make it worse. And it can also keep the pouch from sticking, which we don't want. So also, you never want to use like an alcohol pad or anything. Just water is all you need. And then before you put the new pouch on, you're going to want to make sure that it's dry, so just pat it dry. And if you do see just small amounts of blood from the stoma when you're cleaning it, that's totally fine. But if you see a lot of blood otherwise, you're going to want to contact your healthcare provider. Additionally, if you see the stoma and it's like blue or black, that could mean that there's not enough oxygen getting to it, which is also a bad sign. So you want to make sure it maintains that pinky red color. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Some water and some soft paper towel or something like that, dry it off, and you're good to go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's got poop in it.
It sure does.
What about the smell and stuff? You know, it's kind of gross.
Right, so the odor, that's a common concern, of course, but the great way to manage it is through your diets. So this definitely means you need to avoid some foods that you may be used to eating, and that definitely includes raw vegetables. These can be eaten if you want to in small quantities, but definitely they should be fully cooked. Fruit also can be consumed if it's softened, or you should remove the skin or any seeds.
Okay.
As well, any other foods you may be used to eating are dairy products, beans, nuts, also foods in high fiber. You might want to avoid those. But of course, there's foods that you should eat or can still eat, like yogurt, bananas, sticky white rice, and white toast. Those are really good for you to eat. As well as a good amount of water. So we recommend maybe 1,500 to 2,000 milliliters a day. So that's not much more than you would be drinking anyway.
How many bottles is that?
I would say around 4 bottles.
Okay.
So that you could just fill it like at the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, at the end of the day, just keep drinking it through the day. It's not that strenuous. You don't have to completely follow those guidelines, but just a little bit. And as well, so these are also to keep your bowels moving, not just for the odor. And also, we do say, of course, stay away from certain foods, but it all depends on your body. So you may want to try them out a bit and see if they may work for you. But if not, then of course you know what foods to stay away from and which foods are good.
Oh, okay.
And the bag itself is designed to trap odor, so it shouldn't be a problem. If you find that it is a problem, then maybe call up your doctor or something, and there's different kinds of bags, and maybe it's just a different fit you need. But really, it shouldn't be much of an issue because the bags are designed to trap the odor.
Oh, great. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What about, in the bedroom, how am I supposed to have sex with this thing on? And am I even able to do that now? I mean, I just had surgery.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, first, when you resume having sex, that's totally up to you. Maybe not right away, but once you have your strength back, once you feel like the stoma is healed enough, and you feel comfortable, then you can go for it. And there are certain things that may help you to feel more comfortable, like pouch covers exist that you could, we could get some information for you on that. It's also always a good idea to empty the pouch beforehand, and possibly maybe if you know if it's a planned event, do the stoma hygiene then as well, before. And you can also get creative with alternate positions if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just make sure it's clean and do stuff that.
Yeah, and other than that, it's all about you and your comfort level, and yeah.
Wow, I didn't think it would be this easy.
Yeah.
Do I need to worry about sweat when I'm exercising, like at the gym and stuff?
Right. So, of course, people with colostomy bags, so you can't say you can't exercise. People know they're going to sweat. So the pouching system actually are designed to withstand some of the perspirations. But if you do find that the adhesive is not working well, there are some skin sealants that will help it stay more intact. So they just add a protective coating to the skin, and that comes in different forms, whichever spray, gel, roll-on, whatever's easier.
Okay.
So you should be able to do everything with no issues. But it's important to remember to be fully healed. That's about 6 to 8 weeks. So once that time finishes, you should be able to do everything that you did before. So that includes going out for a jog, swimming, everything like that.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. I think
Any
you
more
answered all my-
questions?
No, I think you answered it all. That's
Okay,
great.
well, we're always here if you
Yeah.
have any questions, if anything comes up, just let us know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Make me feel a lot better about it.